The Lord is high shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water. Them him restored I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea, though I RASTA go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Unu prepared a table before I in the presence of our enemy. Them unu anointed I head with unu oil, me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I Ivan. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Where two centuries meet in the name of the Most High Jah. That's so Jah there. If Jah never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain same way. If Jah never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and then be safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks. And I give thanks. How my bolisa. I don't know what talk. It was simply a four. What you moe? This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power in my name. Black Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something very, very sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes, and sizes. Ingredients that are unique in their own perspectives, my brother, my sister. Relegate to the background every little difference, and then reassign themselves into the black pot, where they are subjected to some amount of heating. They produce food. Ironically, this food is not even eaten by the black pot and the ingredients. Yet each time they will rise to the occasion to produce food that is not eaten by them. This is selflessness. How many of us believe that as long as we have worked for it, we must entirely exhaust its usage? How many people believe that let's only think about today, after all tomorrow shall take care of itself? How many of us also believe that it is most important to know that today is the most important day and tomorrow can be forgotten? God will take care of tomorrow. Again, how many of us also believe that all poor people are lazy and that rich people are naturally hardworking and smart? My brother, my sister, this is the show that rewires the mindset of the African. Now, the biggest problem in Africa is the problem of the mindset. That is why we continue to rewire the mindsets of the people on this show. On this show, it's all about patriotism, no politics. We don't do sports. We don't do religion. All we talk about is patriotism. What can we do to be able to follow all the wonderful trends that put us on the map in the past, in the days of the Ghana Empire, in the days of Kwame Nkrumah, in the days of Nnamdi Azikiwe, and many such great heroes? My brother, my sister, it is time to realign with the truth. Realign with the spirits that moved us forward. Realign with reality. Realign with science and technology so that we'll be able to rise to the top. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. And of course, we are live on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Black Empire Media, and Black is spelled B-L-A-K-K. We are also live on Facebook. And our Facebook account is Black Empire Media, B-L-A-K-K. My brother, my sister, we want to say thank you so much. Please share this broadcast. Hit on the notification button. And at the same time, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and also our Facebook channel. We appreciate you and we love you. Thanks so much to ISIT, ISIT, which simply means in spirit and truth. Yes, and when we talk about in spirit, in truth, we're talking about that Ghanaian-made app, made by Ghanaian engineers in America, modeled beautifully to suit you in these times. It's a new social media app. You can go live, you can make video and audio calls, you can also text. But the most important thing is not this. It is the fact that it is most positive. Now, if your social media platform is nothing but negative, violence, nudity, racism, then this is your new app, the safest haven. Jump and latch on to ISIT, ISIT, and everything is everything. What do? Google Play, you can download it from there. App Store, you can also download it from there. And you would be on ISIT, just like me. This is the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonomo. And here, we speak truth to power. Come here! Now, the very first story is rolling on the screen. And it looks like we are going to touch on a very thorny issue. Ashanti chiefs making OTUMFUOR land guard. Who is a land guard? A land guard is a security man for a landed property. That's a land guard. A land guard is the watchman for a particular parcel of land. In our language, in our parlance in Ghana, a land guard is the watchman for a certain piece of land. In this country, we have so much land litigation. So many people are clamoring around different pieces and parcels of land. Because of that, demand has gone up. Supply is less. Prices are shooting up. And chiefs are selling one piece of land to multiple people. And it's bringing about more land litigations. It looks like this is what is happening in the Ashanti region. Asante Hine, who should be considering dealing with so many different other issues, is now dealing with land issues in his land. So many chiefs have been sacked and destooled, all because of land litigation and multiple sale of land. Asante Hine's duty is more important than just being a land guard. Asante Hine's duty is to try and unite the Ashanti people. Asante Hine's duty, my brother, my sister, is to make sure that the Ashanti people come together in one big piece, in love and harmony. Now, the Ashanti kingdom has been one of the greatest kingdoms ever in the history of Africa. How did they do it? Unity. It started with Okomfo Anoche. We are not going to underestimate the efforts put in by Chum and Enchi, the very first kings of Ashanti. But Okomfo Anoche was the one who made sure, my brother, my sister, that, hey, all the Ashanti kings and chiefs and sub-chiefs brought their stools together, and symbolically, he buried everything in one big grave, inserted a sword into it and said, now the power of the Ashanti is in here. The day that this sword is pulled out of this, the power of Ashanti shall go down. Let's all focus on the golden stool, which he commanded from the sky. Symbolically, my brother, my sister, he was trying to behave or make the Ashanti people behave like the ingredients in the corner that we talked about earlier. Put aside all your differences, come together as one, and then fight for one single goal. Now, the biggest pride of the Ashanti is the fact that it is united. When you mention the name of the Ashanti king, everybody shudders, whether they belong to that ethnic group or not. It's always been like that until recently, when so many people look down on Asante Mine and even look down on the OTUMFUOR. Why did we come this far? Unity that has always been amongst these people, all of a sudden is disintegrated. it looks like we made so many sleeping dogs lie when we should have woken them up and made sure that they will keep guard. My brother, my sister, let's put aside all the parables and go straight for the jugular vein. Now there are so many chiefs and sub-chiefs under the Ashanti, and a lot of these chiefs have been misbehaving, selling land to multiple people and disgracing Asante mine. For some time now, Asante comes out to say, hey, my chiefs are being misled and cajoled with money and bribe. He said it time and again. My brother, my sister, until now, we have never heard anything like Asante coming out to chastise his own chiefs and call them bribe takers. It means that it got to the acme and he couldn't take it anymore. Today, I want to take you through a little journey, and I need you to open your ears and what? Come here and run that story by you. Watch me. What kind of lies are these? OTUMFUOR fumes at Queen Mother as he declares Anye Neyiri stool vacant. Did you see that? What kind of lies are these? OTUMFUOR fumes at Queen Mother as he declares Anye Neyiri stool vacant. Hey! Vacant. It means the custodian of the stool has been sacked. Run the story and watch the story. It's very important. There was drama at the Manshia Palace on Wednesday, October 25, 2023, as the Asante Hini OTUMFUOR Osetutu II was settling a chieftaincy dispute regarding the stool in Anye Neyiri, a suburb of Atwima. One of the parties, a woman, claimed she was the Queen Mother of Anye Neyiri because the stool and the lands there were left to her by her late husband. While addressing a gathering at the palace, the woman said that the other party, Ofori, which is a descendant of the OTUMFUOR, was taking all the lands she gave him to settle on. The Queen Mother's statements did not sit well with OTUMFUOR and his sub-chiefs, who started questioning her. The Asante Hini was angered by her narration and accused her of fabricating lies. He said that the Queen Mother has no claim to the land, as she was suggesting. The Queen Mother's attempt to give more explanations further infuriated the Asante Hini, who said, stop acting stupidly because you are no queen. What kind of lies are these? You came here to lie. Leave my face. You are not a queen, he added. The woman was then removed from the presence of Asante Hini and her slippers taken off, signifying that she had been removed. Come here. It hurts me that I have lived long enough to see how some people want to degrade the Ashanti kingdom. In the days, to be able to even meet the Asante Hini as a sub-chief, it wasn't easy. Today, Asante Hini sits in public. People are invited to come over and sit down and watch him deliver justice. I don't know what to think about that. But for me, where are the chiefs and the sub-chiefs who should have actively been picked up by the Asante Hini to take care of this minor chieftaincy disputes and land disputes? Asante Hini is too big to sit down and be settling chieftaincy disputes of this small caliber. How many people agree? This is the king of the Ashanti, whose enthronement had the British monarch wanting to come to Ghana and watch. This is the man whose enthronement shook the whole foundation of the whole Africa. And today, he has nothing to do but to sit down and settle land disputes like a land guard Today he has nothing to do but to sit down, my brother, my sister, and be settling minor lies and issues like this amongst the subjects. No, somebody else should be doing this, not Asante. Do we understand the status of the Asante? Are we degrading the level of the Asante to a land guard? That doesn't mean land guards are not important. A king is a king and a land guard is a land guard. What the king does, the land guard cannot do it. And what the land guard does, the king would not do it. I am embarrassed. How can the whole king of Ashanti, King Solomon, be turned into a minor chieftaincy squabble settler? What is wrong? Are we short of people in the palace who can sit and talk to these people? Asante should only come out, my brother, my sister, when there is an earthquake. Asante should only come out when there is a tsunami. Asante should only come out when the heavens open and angels are descending. If Asante can be approached so easily like this, my brother, my sister, familiarity will set in. And at the end of the day, we know what it is. It hurts me. I went to school in Kumasi, T.I. Ahmadiyya Secondary School from Form 1 to Upper 6. 7 solid years in school. From there, I went all the way to KNUST for 5 solid years. Added to that, I was in Kumasi for how many years? 12 solid years, right? I never saw Asante except on TV. Very big events. My brother, my sister, it is important to settle squabbles amongst subjects. But should the Asante descend to that level of an arbitrator of such low-class issues? If Asante is going to sit down in public and people can come and lie to him that they own this land and bring some fabricated histories and all that, and he's sitting there and getting angry and telling people to move out of his sight and all that, then I wonder who is going to sit down when we have great gargantuan issues confronting the Asante mind. Asante, with all love and respect, please do not bring yourself to this level. You are far higher than that level. Find a council of elders who will settle some of these things and report to you. Only appear on special occasions. You decide what is special to you. But if you continue in this direction, you might end up being the king of Langas. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. And we wish the Asante and the Asante mind all the best. Let those who have ears listen, and let those who don't have ears open their eyes and see and know that this is nothing but the truth. Come here! Nobody is bigger than the truth. Next story, my youth. And it looks like I'm taking you to Nogokpo. Is that right? Nogokpo bribed to free Agyinasare. We all remember how Archbishop Agyinasare of the Perez Chapel came out and made utterances that he apologized for later. He said he had traveled to Aflawo with his church. They had gone there to preach. And on their way, they had to pass through Nogokpo, the seat of power of the ancestors. And boom, one of his junior pastors driving a car had all 4 wheels of the 4x4, the SUV, come out all of a sudden. He made a little joke out of it. And he also said that this Nogokpo vicinity, maybe at the time he was even ignorant of the fact that Nogokpo, as known by many Ghanaians, is supposed to be a shrine. But it is bigger than just the shrine. The whole vicinity, the area, is called Nogokpo. Yes, the shrine has a different name. The area is called Nogokpo. But he said that Nogokpo is the citadel of the devil. And the people of Nogokpo got angry. Traditionalists got angry. That why would a man following a European religion come and look down on our belief? He came out and apologized. But there was one man who was so avowed that he would never let the issue die. That Agyinasare must come and apologize to the chiefs and elders of Nogokpo, or else they will show him celestial power. My brother, my sister, who was this guy? My brother, my sister, he came out and said he was the one representing the people of Nogokpo and the shrine. And he spoke, granted so many interviews. Agyinasare refused to go. He never went to apologize. He didn't say anything to anybody. And they gave him a number of days for him to appear, or else celestial power action. The days elapsed. Nothing happened to Agyinasare. He went back to his church and he said, well, they gave me some days for me to live. And if I did not apologize, they will kill me. If I didn't come to deal with them, they will kill me. At the end of the day, I am still alive. My brother, my sister, today we have more information coming in. Come here. Watch the headline. I was promised 100,000 American dollars to drop Agyinasare's case. Spokesperson of Nogokpo alleges. Nufialaga Mawufemo also alleged that Togbi Adama III, the Volta region's paramount chief and president of the Some Traditional Council, initially part of the plan, had distanced himself from the press conference they had, and he believes that the chiefs had been compromised. Let's start the story properly. This is a very interesting part of it. This is a very interesting part of the story. In this story, well, it looks like we are having a power, and we will certainly return right after the power comes on. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo. We shall return. This is the Black Pot, aka Kokushodo, where we speak truth to power, and I would like to apologize for the power outage. It happens in this country and some other parts of Africa. Every now and then, the power goes on and off. But we're back. Apologies. Well, we're talking about a very interesting issue. What were we talking about? Nogokpo. Agyinasare refused to go there. Let us look at the story as captured by Ghana Web. Nufialaga Mawufemo Kwabla Nyonyebe, the spokesperson of Nogokpo, has made startling allegations claiming that some chiefs who had come together to summon Archbishop Agyinasare, the leader of Perez Chapel International, have been compromised, leading to their silence on the matter. Speaking on the Mama Grace show, Nufialaga Mawufemo revealed that what began with good intentions on how to address the case involving Archbishop Agyinasare took a different turn due to bribery attempts. He explained that when Archbishop Agyinasare was summoned to Nogokpo over his comments labeling the entire community as a demonic headquarters, several political leaders reached out to him offering a substantial $100,000 bribe. The way we wanted to handle this Agyinasare Nogokpo issue, trust me, Nogokpo would have been a heaven where investors and a lot of people would have flocked with various opportunities. Nufialagba Mawufemo stated. It got to a point with what I saw happening, I had to go live on Facebook to dissociate myself from the issue because people are looking up to me and I don't want anybody to tag me as going to take a bribe. I was already accused of taking a bribe, and yes, people called me to make offers during the issue. I was promised 100,000 American dollars to drop the issue, but for the love of the people, I declined. People have taken it, and I leave them to their conscience, he added. He added that pastors, political leaders, and traditional leaders also attempted to intercede, but the Nogokpo community stood firm on their position until compromises started emerging. Nufialaga Mawufemo also alleged that Togbi Adama III, the Volta region's paramount chief and president of the Summit Traditional Council, and this is important, initially part of the plan, had distanced himself from the press conference they had, and he believes that the chief had been compromised. In June 2023, the chiefs of Nogokpo had summoned Archbishop Agyinasare within 14 days, expressing dissatisfaction with comments describing Nogokpo as the headquarters of demons in the Volta region. Dash it away. So you see, anybody can come and lie and say anything they want to say, because nobody would ask you for evidence. My brother, but let us look at this issue. Remember the way they were going. I am a traditionalist. I love tradition. I love it. When Agyinasare made those utterances, I was one of the first that came out and condemned what he said. In fact, probably, I even inflamed it so that Agyinasare would be brought to book. Quickly the following day, Agyinasare decided to apologize. And I was happy about it. He explained that he was married to a woman from the area, and his children all bore the names of people from the area. So there was no way he would look down on the people of the area. This is bigger than any apology anybody would give. He even asked the people of Nogokpo, the chiefs and people, in fact, to disregard whatever was in the news, and that people were only trying to spoil a good relationship. But arrogance and pride, led by Nufialagan. Oh, let's summon him. Let's bring him. Let's make him come and apologize. Let him come and meet the chiefs and people within 14 days. If he doesn't do it, we'll show him celestial power. That was a threat. He was the one saying that, Nufialagan. I had to get back to them and tell them, you are not approaching this issue right. You are threatening the man. He has already come to apologize, if anything at all. Call him or send a message to him and say that, well, we have heard you. All that you have said, we have heard you. Can you come over so we sit and look at how we will stop or we will prevent such occurrences from happening again? Because we don't want to go to and fro. You have stepped on my foot, I have to step on yours. No. Can we deal with that? But you came out threatening him. If you don't come within 14 days, celestial power. And I was one of the people that said that no celestial power is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. I was angry at the way they were approaching the issue. I spoke with some of the greatest people of the area. And the inside information was that some of them listened to what I told them. And they decided that they would let the matter rest. But Nufialagan, the same person who is alleging bribery, was the one pushing it. No, let's push it. Let's show them that we have power. Let's show them. They said, oh, he has apologized. Let the issue die down. We will invite him on a better day. Let's have a discussion with him, and then we will learn how to live side by side with each other. Nufialagan was still insisting. 14 days came to pass. I asked them a question when I spoke with them. So if after 14 days he doesn't come, what are you going to do? You're going to shit bomb his church? Are you going to set it on fire? What are you going to do? It's going to be Christians against traditionalists, isn't it? Because once you attack him, this other side too is going to get ready to attack. But you should be people of peace. They didn't listen. A majority of the people, including Adama and the rest, they agreed that, oh, let it go, let it go, let it go. My brother, let's even assume that some $100,000 American dollars was given. Nogokpo is a deprived community. Why don't you accept the money and say, okay, we have accepted the money. We see it as libation that you have come to pour. After all, when you go to see a king or a chief, what do? You go with libation. We see this as libation. Come also in person. Let's hold a last press conference. Speak to the people and tell them that we have been able to sit down and we've been able to deal with the issue amicably. But time after time, we shall continue to talk and educate the people as to how we can stay away from hurting each other religiously. You call it a bribe. I don't see this as a bribe. Even if there was a 100,000 American dollars, this is a deprived community. Why don't you take it and buy boats to go fishing? Why don't you take it to build a school there? Why don't you take it to build boreholes there? Would that not serve the people more? Now Nufialagba is saying, oh, you know what? We wanted to bring tourists here. How were you going to bring the tourists there? By summoning Agyinasare? Well, Agyinasare didn't come. Why didn't you come together to do whatever you wanted to do for tourists to troop there? You think tourists are foolish? You are saying that you have the power to kill people. Which tourist would go to an area and risk his life if they are telling him that there's some power there that kills people? You think I'll go there? Or you don't know the rudiments of tourism? You are telling me that you want tourists to come to this area. Yet you claim that there's a certain power there that kills people when they do evil or when they do anything that you think is evil. Which tourists will come there? Please, let's stop this joke. We are not children. It was a bad PR. They destroyed the name of Nogokpo. And it's good that they are quiet. And it's so good that Nufialaga has distanced himself. Now the good people of the area will sit down there and bring more competent people who can sit down and look at things better. Nufialaga destroyed the whole thing. And he won't listen. Arrogance. You call him and talk to him, he's shouting, bah, 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 bah. Okay, celestial power. You have it. Kill people. You can't even kill an ant. The people who have the power themselves are not talking. You who is a lightweight with nothing. Food to even eat is a problem to the people of the area. You have 100,000 American dollars. What should you have done with the money? Collect it. Build boats for the people to go on the river or the sea, to go there and fish. Build schools with that money. Eh? Be able to build a clinic if you can, even with that money. Hey! Open up a set. Look, this was a good opportunity for them to have raised the name of the area. Okay, you want a truce. Please, we are going to agree to the truce. But we need you to help us build a school, a clinic, and 10 boreholes in the area. That is the truce that we want. Then everybody will see that you are not being greedy. You are looking for something, a certain kind of compensation for the people of the area. It makes sense. Today, you are coming to tell us that they bribed some people and they decided that they would distance themselves. Some people said what. So where is the celestial power? Did it also take bribe? That's why it couldn't kill Agyinasare or slaughter him. Did the celestial power there take bribe? Oh, please. Come here! This is the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushodomo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we have more. And, of course, send your comments coming in. We are going to read your comments pretty soon. Hey! Wayo!
Blakk Pot, Kukushodomo.
This is the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushono, where we speak truth to power. We apologize one more time. Power outage, left, right, and center. To God be the glory. Next story, my youth. We're taking you to the Ivory Coast. And watch what is happening there. Ivory Coast cocoa in limbo. It is the country that produces the highest amount of cocoa in the world. It used to be Ghana until a few years back when the Ivory Coast took over. Ghana cocoa is still uniquely placed in the world as the best cocoa. But the Ivory Coast, there are such neighbors as Ghana, Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea, and Liberia, as you see here, and washed by the Gulf of Guinea. My brother, my sister, it's a unique country. It's bigger than Ghana. It's bigger than Liberia, bigger than Guinea. This is the country. Large and big. The capital is Abidjan. And one of their very important cities is Yamoussoukro. And that was where Lovio came from. But the people of the Ivory Coast are smart people and a well-placed people on the continent to do well. Are you aware that they are beginning to also produce a lot of coffee in that country? They are beginning to lead in some cycles when it comes to coffee. The Ivory Coast. How many of us use Nescafe? It's one of the products of coffee coming out of the Ivory Coast. It is beginning to industrialize so wonderfully. My brother, my sister, this is the Blakk Pot. Ivory Coast cocoa in limbo. Run the story, my youth, and this story is from Reuters. It says what? Ivory Coast in fresh standoff with cocoa buyers over premium. Run the story. It says, and the summary of the story is, global cocoa prices at record highs. Current harvest expected to be 25% smaller. And cocoa regulator says will resist attempts to cut premium. This is all the story is talking about. You remember Ghanaian cocoa farmers ran helter-skelter to sell their cocoa to the Ivorians because the Ivorians were paying more for cocoa. Some Ghana cocoa was even taken to Togo and Burkina Faso for higher premiums, right? Abidjan, and this is the 25th day of October. Reuters. Ivory Coast is struggling to sell cocoa export contracts for the 2024-25 season, with multinational companies demanding its lowest prices, which are elevated due to a supply squeeze, the head of the country's cocoa regulator said on Wednesday. That's yesterday. Ivory Coast is the world's top producer of cocoa, the main ingredient in chocolate. Along with neighboring Ghana, it produces about 2/3 of the world's supply. My God, 75% of the cocoa in the world is produced by two countries, Ghana and La Côte d'Ivoire. If the two countries could come together, they would be able to control the prices worldwide. But no, they don't even have proper chocolate making factories in these two countries. They are a Georgesburg economy that only produces to feed the kitchens of the West. The country expects a 25% drop from last year in cocoa arrivals for the current October to March main crop due to poor weather conditions, said Yves Bremer Kone, Director General of the Coffee and Cocoa Council, CCC. Coffee and Cocoa Council. Industry sources had previously told Reuters they expected a 20% drop in production for the 2023-2024 season. London cocoa futures hit a record high on Monday, with speculators doubling down on bets for rising prices. That's it. My brother, this is something very easy to analyze. Ghana and La Côte d'Ivoire control the cocoa industry of the world as first and second topmost exporters of cocoa in the world. But they do not control the prices. There was a time Kwame Nkrumah made sure that Ghana, Nigeria, and the Ivory Coast came together in London and some other places to dictate how much cocoa should sell. At the time, Ghana was the #1 producer of cocoa in the world, and they succeeded. Today, the white man decides for us how much he will buy our cocoa. With so many years of producing cocoa, are you aware that we are still taking aid and loans from the EU to help our cocoa industry? Recently, they came over to Ghana and gave some EU money to the Ghana Cocoa Board to be able to help cocoa production. The farmers did not benefit from that entirely. So they decided to abandon the cocoa thing and sold their cocoa farms to Chinese galamseyers. In other words, illegal farmers, illegal miners. And in the Ivory Coast, similar things are happening. The Ivory Coast had the highest premium for cocoa in the whole of the sub-region. So everybody who produced a bit of cocoa was rushing to the Ivory Coast through smuggling to be able to sell that for higher monies. The Ivory Coast continued to rise higher. The Ivory Coast was seen as the #1 exporter. So the cocoa that should have gone into the dossier of Ghana exports now went to the Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, and Togo, countries that did not even produce cocoa from the days of the Pope till now. They still don't produce cocoa. For the first time started supplying cocoa. How did they get the cocoa? From the countries that produce cocoa, but they were so disrespected and were not paid well. Countries like Ghana. The Ivory Coast stood firm and pushed for cocoa prices to keep rising and farmers benefiting. They ended up attracting farmers from Ghana and some other places to go there and sell their cocoa. What point is Blakk Rasta making? Now, there is an estimated 25% cocoa drop for this season till next year. And when cocoa production drops, supply is cut and demand rises and boom, prices skyrocket. Now the Ivory Coast is in a limbo. The international market is saying reduce the prices. In London, prices are skyrocketing. But how are we going to benefit? What's the benefit? There is a low level of supply because we threw our hands in the air in despair, sold our cocoa farms. Now there is a shortage in supply. Prices are coming up, but we have nothing to supply. Can you see the paradox? We gave up on the cocoa. Our cocoa has been vilified as employing child labor and also using dangerous chemicals to pollute the cocoa, especially in Ghana, as reported by Al Jazeera. Now the Ivory Coast is having its own toll. Now the Ivory Coast would have to stand firm and say that, no, we are not reducing our premium. We rather are going to increase it so our farmers can benefit. Would Ghana have a voice? After selling off so much of our cocoa land to illegal miners, is Ghana gradually falling out of the cocoa race? Is the cocoa board really dead? These are the questions we need to ask. How can we get our cocoa back on a stronger footing? We must not put too much pressure on the cocoa. We can also go into cassava production, even coffee production, like the Ivory Coast is doing, rather than keeping an eye on only one cash crop, cocoa, year after year. And if there's a cocoa disease, we have no cash crop to give out. Now there is a boom. Prices are going up, but there's a shortage in supply. How do you deal with this? Will you begin to put value on your cocoa by producing cocoa products like chocolate? These are questions we all need to ask. In the interim, the Ivory Coast is in a cocoa limbo. Will the Ivory Coast handle it well, like it's done in the last few years? Or is going to break down under pressure and destroy it like Ghana has destroyed its cocoa? It's the Black Pot, aka Cocoa Show no more. When we return, we will be reading your messages. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot, Cocoa Show, man.
This is the Black Pot, aka Cocoa Show no more. And your messages are coming through. Run the messages. All right. So send your messages on Facebook and also on YouTube. And these ones are coming from YouTube. Dangote GH. That's Dangote Ghana says, Blakk, I see you. I see you too. Soleji Mawena says, good evening, Blakk. Henyon Raphael says, good evening, my brother. Oyo, Petrina Otu says, greetings, Blakk Rasta. We'll miss skunking with you next week on radio. I hope you have enough rest on your leave. Yes, I will certainly have some good rest. Yes, I'm taking, a few days off to be able to do a few other things and return. Jose Coffee says, hello. Share and keep sharing this authentic news. Thank you so much. Petrina Otu says, please, the money that Nam1 gave to the police, what happened to it? Make them no chop it, or they better give it to those whose monies were lost. Of course, Nam1 says he's going back to take his money because the agreement he had with them was that the money should be dispersed to the people who he owed, and he gave them a list. But the police decided to take it to the Bank of Ghana, and now the courts have to sit on it and so on and so forth. Nam1 is angry. He says he's going to expose the Bank of Ghana, and at the same time, he's also going to the police to take back his money. What Day Adam says, good evening, Lion, the best show without any doubt, the only show that criticizes to build but not to destroy. Guidance and protection of Jah unto you and your entire time. Loss of love from Germany. Blessed love, Wade Adams. Francis Ampim says, welcome, Blakk Rasta. At last, Jah guide you and your crew. It's all about listening to the truth, and no one is bigger than the truth. Woyoy. Oscar Pendragon says, hey, because in Ghana, we cherish the dangers more than the solutions. That's right. All right, so Francis Ampim says, welcome, Blakk Rasta. At last, Jah guide you and your crew. Well, I think we read that earlier. And this is Zero Socrates. He says he will go down as the worst Ashanti in history. Okay, Oscar Pendragon says, hello, Blakk. Please, the Israel issue has still not been tackled. Don't let it get out of hands before you will make a headline to it. I have given you the solution, but you guys are still not speaking. Well, we spoke on this on other platforms and not on this platform. The Israeli ambassador had a conference, press conference. I was there to speak and all that. So if you have not heard us speak here, it doesn't mean that we are not speaking. We have spoken on other platforms. And if you realize what I say on radio, I try not to bring it here so that you can have variety. So that's what it is. Abdallah Umar says, God bless you, Blakk, for this, your wisdom. Blakk, you always speak the truth to power. Thank you. Abdallah Umar says, Blakk, I have been your regular viewer, but always watching you offline. But today, I am watching you live. I thank God for making it today. And unfortunately for today, too, we had a power outage for a few minutes. I think about 5 minutes, right? And then we came back again. To God be the glory. Thanks so much. Continue to watch us live, yeah? Kojo, one fool, says, don't forget to like and share. Class has begun. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yes, remember to share the broadcast. Francis Ampim says, welcome back, Blakk. Love and respect. And says, you and your crew, we are listening to the truth, and no one is bigger than the truth. Oh, yo. I think we've read these ones already. Yakubu Alabani says, Kukushunabo. I watch live from Gushagu. May we get your type in the media industry. Well, blessed love. Amigu Shegu, Massive and Crew, we love you and we appreciate you. Kweku Mbill says, Blakk Rasta is always on point. Preach truth to power. God bless you. Speaking truth to power. Loud Silence TV. And that's a beautiful one. And my brethren, thank you so much, Kevin Taylor. New Force tuned in. Thank you so much, New Force. Emmanuel Warden says, more fire. New Force says, Ras Kotoka Ofayao. And the rest is calling all of them to come together and watch the show. Ras Kotoka, thank you so much. So like Jim Awena says, more fire. And the fire is coming out. This one says, Miss Debbie says, Solomon Entry says, Blakk, I love your rough. I think you want to say, I love you rough. Since my childhood till now, from Accra, Takwa, and now, I am in Sunyane, still following you. God bless you. Blessed love, Solomon Entry. Abdul Rahman Wakilu says, hello, bro. Good evening. Hello. How are you doing? Yao Odro Nti Nyama says, most of our leaders of today are the same as those well-fed slaves in the slavery era who were fed to suppress their own people. We are not free until we fight these people. Prophet Blakk, am I lying? No, you're not lying. You're speaking the truth. 100% truth. Let's look at the next issue as quickly as we can. And come here. Ghana better than overseas nations. Ghana better than overseas nations. Oh my God. Can you believe this? Well, maybe there's a context. Let's look at who is speaking. Now, this is the lady speaking. And she's saying something that we need to look at. Run the story. Let's see it. It says, it's extremely difficult to succeed overseas. And that is Dr. Emilia Timpo warning against rushed immigration. Wow. The year 2023 has witnessed numerous Ghanaians traveling outside the shores of Ghana to the Western world in search of greener pastures. Data from the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association shows that from January to July 2023, that's only about 7 months, a total of 10,209 nurses and midwives sought clearance from the association to travel outside the country. The year has also witnessed an increase in the number of applicants for the American visa lottery, student visas, and other work permits. Reacting to the new development, a former senior advisor to the Joint United Nations Program on HIV/AIDS, UNAIDS, and development expert Dr. Emilia Timpo has cautioned Ghanaians against traveling overseas to seek greener pastures without a proper laid out plan for survival and success. Wow. According to her, contrary to popular belief that traveling abroad guarantees financial gains and success, it is very difficult to make it as an immigrant in most foreign countries. She recounted how she had to exclude her PhD qualification from her curriculum vitae. Oh yes, to secure a job as a secretary. Forget it. You think you are traveling outside for an easier, greener pasture? Do not be deceived. That is very easy to make and succeed overseas, especially as an immigrant. Now, the systems in most European countries do not facilitate that. I remember having to hide my PhD qualification just so I could get a job as a secretary. This is because most companies could not pay for my services, and those who could simply do did not want to because of race and gender issues. Emilia Timpo explained at the launch of her memoir, Perseverance. Got it. That's it. Now, in the truth is that Nana Addo's government has seen more people leaving this country than any other government in history in Ghana. Everybody is running out. The other day, the passport office announced that it had run out of passport booklets. People are applying for passports. They want to go anywhere outside Ghana. They are better off than being in Ghana. That is what happens when you have a clueless government in power. Unfortunately, this is what it is. Oh my God. People are running out of the country. Dr. Emilia Timpo has spoken. Of course, Ghanaians know that it is not easy. There's no Ghanaian now who does not know that it's not a bed of roses abroad. But the problem with the Ghanaian, as it stands right now, the new crop of Ghanaians, is not about hard work and strive. It's about rewarding hard work and strive. I do not know who doesn't understand this. The average Ghanaian is ready to go out there and work and break his back if only his hard work will be rewarded adequately. Here, we are demonstrated to by politicians that hard work doesn't matter. All you need to learn is how to insult people. Learn how to speak good English, and that's it. You don't need brains anymore. You will make it. Look at these dirty people in power. Which one of them is better than us? Academically, zero-minded. Behaviorally, they are nitwits. Strength-wise, panga, they cannot do anything. Yet they are chopping all the big money. They chop money for them. Me and you cannot see the light of the day. It's because hard work is not appreciated and rewarded well in this country. So Dr. Emilia Timpo is a good piece of advice. But the point has been missed. These Ghanaians who are leaving to go and work, have you checked statistics to see how Ghanaians fare abroad? 2 years ago, and let me remind you, Ghanaians in England came out as number one. They came tops when it came to foreigners working very hard in England to make a good living. Ghanaians. 2 years ago. They were number one. They beat all other foreigners, including the Americans, including whoever. Ghanaians were number one. Ghanaians love to work hard, but they want to be rewarded adequately. There are no jobs. I don't advocate people running out of the nation. I advocate that we put pressure on the government, kick out the government, and get somebody with common sense to run the country and make the country better so that everybody's not running out of the country. My brother, my sister, what Dr. Timpo is saying is correct, but one point has been lost. The fact that this will not stop the people from running out. They hate staying under a government that is so insensitive. It has a deep crocodile skin, a double or triple crocodile skin. It has no feeling. People are dying. They want to survive. They don't want to steal. They want to work. There are no jobs. And if a job comes out, you have to show a party card before you get one. Is it a good thing? Until we fix this, I'm looking up to the Ghana that would have young men and women who want to work. I'm looking up to the Ghana where if somebody tells you he's unemployed, it's by choice. Why can't we do it? Look at so much work. Go out there and look at the jungles that we have, even in Accra. You can put that into use. The herbal medicines, the medicinal plants and all that, they need to be harvested for human use. Is it not human beings who will do that? I leave it here. And my name is Blakk RASTA. And when we return, we got more. And we'll also be reading more messages pretty soon. Wayo! And this is the Blackport, aka Kukushono.
Skipper George.
Blackport. Kokushona.
Go on, Skipper George.
Blackport. Kokushona.
Go on, Skipper George.
Blackport. Kokushona.
This is the Blackport, aka Kukushono. Thanks so much. Next story. Yes, next story. We're going to rush through the stories so that you can go and rest. The truth about the 140 million judgment debt on Ghana. Run the story. I'm going to spend just 2 minutes on this. And this is the man talking. He was the minister at the time that this thing happened. What is he saying? You remember yesterday we carried the story on this? Run the story. Watch it. Former Energy Minister Boakye Agyakun has said the comments by the former Minister of Power, Dr. Kwabena Donkor, over the happening that led to the termination of a power contract that has led Ghana into a 140 million American dollar judgment debt are ill and unfortunate. Kwabena Donkor had earlier called for a comprehensive probe into the decisions made by the officials from the new Patriotic Party administration, including the then Energy Minister Boakye Agyakun himself. In his response, Agyakun stated, "My attention has been drawn to some very unfortunate and ill-informed statements by Honorable Kwabena Donkor on the termination of the GPGC power purchase agreement. I deem the utterances most unfortunate and irresponsible, coming from a former minister who ought to know that it is not within my power or province or that of any minister to unilaterally cancel or terminate a contract of this nature." Agyakun explained the circumstances surrounding the termination, stating that the MPP government, upon taking office, initiated actions to control the cost associated with the power generation and distribution in Ghana. They believe that the implementation of numerous power purchase agreements, PPAs, would result in excess energy production, causing financial strain on the power sector. As a result, they established an interministerial committee to review. Dash it. Plenty talk. It has happened. How did it happen? Now you cancelled it. There's a judgment debt. As compared to if you hadn't cancelled it, which would be better? When common sense is speaking, you see it clearly. With all the common sense and all the derogatory statements against Kwabena Donkor. Irresponsible, ill-mannered, ill-thought, blah, blah, blah. This is what we are saying. Whatever it is, people came together and took a decision to cancel a contract with no discipline. Ghana is suffering. This is all you can come and say, grammar, and go. Dash. Last story and I'm done. It's nauseous. These guys, they talk big English for nothing. SAFO, not sorry for abandoning gender ministry. Run it. Quick, this is SAFO. She ran and left her ministry. She came back and apologized to the people, hoping that they will re-elect her. She's realizing that they will not. She says, "I did what a mother had to do." SAFO justifies long absence to constituents. Run it. The Member of Parliament for Dome Kwabenya constituency, Sarah SAFO, has explained her long absence from Parliament to traders and market women within the Dome market enclave. According to the MP who courted public criticism for abandoning her post for over a year, she had to do what a woman had to do when she faced a barrage of challenges involving even her children. I've already met a lot of you at the dash, man. Dash. You see, you apologize and you come to explain. Apology, explanation, apology, explanation. She said her family first. And she is telling you the same thing now. Family first. I have to do what a mother should do. Family first, not Ghana first. These guys are arrogant. We don't need them. They are useless for the national growth. Let them go and take care of their families. Those who are ready to take care of Ghana shall take care of Ghana. This is the Blackboard, a.k.a. Kukushonomo. Is that the very last story? So we are done. Let's take your final messages and we'll go. It looks like we've run out of time. So if your messages have not been read, please feel no way. We respect all the messages you've sent in. We'll find time and read all of them. Until then, let's run away before the lights go off again. God will be with us. May Ghana prosper. I love you. Wayo!